This is what I call the tailgate close. Okay, literally, it came up with me, when I was really 100% in production and mostly working with investors. I didn't drive around in my Cadillac or Mercedes. I drove around in my four-door Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. Okay, and because sometimes I'd actually wear jeans. I know it sounds crazy because I'm usually wearing suits, but when I'm going to look at investment properties, I'd roll up my sleeves and get busy with the consumers, and they liked it, and it got me a lot of closings. And here's something I want to show you. So this is assuming you've already done your marketing, you got them secured as a client, okay? And you've already done what we call the screening interview process, which was a different video. And you're now working with them to identify a property. So first off, right off the bat, as soon as you get them secured, you got them under agreement, an agency agreement, okay? You want to start hustling and finding the properties. Yes, sometimes you can find the only MLS, okay? But a lot of times you're not. In fact, half of our investor transactions aren't even on the MLS. That's okay. We still earn commissions and so forth. We still work and earn our keep. So this is assuming you're getting them now. You're sending them properties. Okay, this is very important. This is one of those ones you want to take notes on, right? I don't do all the analysis for them. I do pre-selection. Okay, so what I do is I go out and use my marketing techniques to identify owners who need to or want to sell, right? Properties that I know my buyers want to buy. So I'm like a surgeon. I'm matching up the solution with the problem. Okay, that's what every good realtor does, guys. You don't just go out there cashing yourself to the wind and then hope for the best. No, think technically. Think like a technician. Okay, identify what they want and go find what they want, bring them together, and you get a lot of double unders, by the way. So in any case, you find the inventory, whether it's MLS or other sources, okay? And you send them the inventory, right? This is throughout the week. And you have them look at the properties and give you feedback. Hey, I like this one, I don't like that one. What you're trying to do is you might feed them 30 properties. You want to narrow that down to say like cut it in half, okay? And then maybe you want to cut it in half again, because you're not going to look at 15 properties, I can promise you. You've only got to look at an average of 6 properties for every one transaction, okay? And you do this process to get you there. So you get down to the final 6, right? Now you got to make the appointments to go see the properties, okay? So let's now assume we're at that point, right? We've narrowed it down to the ones that make the most sense. And by the way, I always have them do desktop analysis on the properties. I give them the forms, the charts, everything to do projections, okay? Projections on the property in the area. And if I tell you, I'll give you another hit here. Let's say you're looking at properties on the MLS. Obviously, they got a list price. They got other data like what the tax assessor thinks the thing's worth, all kinds of data on those MLS listings. What I do is I always compare the list price right off with the market of what's happening in the market. It's not, in and of itself, list price means nothing. Relative to everything else, it means something. So if I see list prices that are at or above market value, I get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Yeah, you can work your butt off and negotiate and finally get a deal, but it's better off to get ones that are already favorably priced. Okay, so we do that elimination right off the bat, and then we go through and we look at things like if you remember the prior lesson, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, garage, basement, are all these variables we look at. Okay, for these subject properties, we narrow it down to the ones that make the most sense. So here's what happens. So we go out and we'll look at the properties. All right. Figure a half hour at each property, right? It might take you 3-4 hours. You go through each property, you have your client taking pictures, and now you even have them record right there as they're going through, okay? And then have whoever's with them take notes on their charts. So I always give them their analysis sheets and information sheets right up front, okay? And they go through and they fill everything out. Now, at the end of the day, this is what I'm getting. At the end of the day, we might have, 6 properties, okay? Let's say we got 6 properties. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can do this at Starbucks, you can do this at Panera Bread, you can do whatever. I used to do it on the tailgate of my truck. Literally, I'd pull down the tailgate, I'd lay these out, I'd take all these listings, all these properties, right? And I'd lay them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we go through the math real quick on the notes that they've taken, right? Because usually it's minutes with each property. So we go through and we put in the list price, right? what we believe the rehab is, what we believe the after repair value is. And this is, you've got to bring some expertise there. After repair value is what it would be worth after the property is remodeled, either for flipping or for putting in rent service for rentals, okay? And I lay the properties out. There's actually two ways to do this. One way is to lay the properties out, this one here, this one here, this one here, so forth and so on. And we look at the properties and I said, okay, if you could only buy 5, which one of these would you not want to buy? Which one can you most easily live without if you didn't buy it? And we cross that one off, whatever one it is, okay? And I literally, right in front of them, I take that listing, bundle it up, throw it away. Just do that, okay? Or draw a big red X. To me, it's better if I crumple it up and throw it away. It's gone, okay? It plants a very strong psychological seed, all right? And then we do the same thing. Again, they might be able to buy 2 or 3. You know, let's just assume they're only going to buy 1. So we go through, we eliminate the next one, okay? The trick is to try to get down to obviously a minimum of 1, but no more than 3, right? If you can get down to 1 right there on the spot, you've got yourself a transaction right there. You go what you're saying, and you don't do any assumptive stuff. Actually, this is assumptive, excuse me. But you want to be strong in your position. Say, look, I'm going to go to home and I'm going to draw up this contract. Okay. I'm going to send it to you electronically. If you could please, before 9 o'clock tonight, go in, digitally sign it, send it back to me with a photocopy of your hand money check. I've already got your pre-approval letter. Remember, you don't take anybody out unless you've already determined timing, motivation, readiness, willingness, ability. Different video, but just I'm assuming it's just assuming you've done that. You've already determined timing, motivation, readiness, willingness, ability. Okay, those 5 things. You know they got the money, they got the credits, time to strike. So right there on the spot, if we've narrowed it down to 1, I'll tell them I'm going to go ahead and write the contract. We got to move fast. We're not the only smart people out there. This is clearly a good deal. We can't wait. I'll get this to you tonight. You get it back to me digitally signed with a copy of your hand money check. I'm going to ship this off to the other realtor tonight, so they have it when they wake up in the morning. Are you okay with that? Okay, get their commitment. Okay, get the commitment and get the time. Now, let's say you can only get it down to 2 or 3. What I'll do is just say, okay, great. Again, I'll take the others, crumple them up, throw them away, right? Crumple them up, throw them away. They're gone. The only thing left is these 3. So I want you to take these 3, go home, revise your number based on the notes you took on the information sheet and analysis sheet. And if you recorded a video or took pictures, use that too. And I want you to prioritize them 1, 2, 3. I'm going to call you at 9 o'clock. We're going to do a Zoom call, right? I'm going to have you scan those in so we can see each other's computer screens. And I'm going to go through them with you. And by the way, if you can send them to me ahead of time, I'll go over them myself and check your homework. Remember that little piece of script, okay? Send them to me ahead of time in a scan. I'll go over them and check your homework. Use that as those exact words. And I'll call you at 9 o'clock. They're going to say, you know, they're already going to know the answer. Hey, Gary, this one looks like the best one. And what you're going to say, that's great. Let's go ahead and get the contract written. But if they're in more like they're just not 100% there, you say, look, let's look at the other 2, all right, just for comparison, just to make certain. And it may end up being another one, but chances are you're not going to change your mind. It's going to be that one. But you use that cathartic process, right? You say, okay, you know what? I agree with you. I think your homework is spot on that. Of the 3 that are left, that's the one you can most easily live without. Narrow it down to 2, right? And again, right over the screen, crumple it up, throw it away. Get it down to 1. Say, okay, how soon would you like to be cash or rent checks on that property? Well, let's get going because it ain't going to last. You draw up your contract, same process, ship it off to them electronically, get their commitment, coming back to you, signed document, photocopy, hand money check, ship it into the other realtor. Probably the best closing technique I've ever seen when it comes to my buyers, particularly the investors. Okay, investors are just easier, faster. This is the stuff that's what they need. Okay, owner occupants say, oh, I'm going to go home and think about it, talk to my mom or my dad or my spouse, whatever. That's great. That's why I like working with investors, by the way. They know what they want. I've already screened them, interviewed them, and they're qualified. You got yourself a deal. Okay, so like that one, we got more coming up, so stay tuned. In the meantime, God bless you and your family. We'll see you on the next video.